Chad M. Christensen is the managing editor of Wayne State College Press, WSC Press, and the co-director of the Plains Writers series. He teaches writing and publishing at Wayne State College and earned his MFA from the University of Nebraska. He's also the co-founder of Pseudo Poseur Productions. I love that name, Pseudo Poseur Productions, which is a co-op for writers, musicians, and artists in Northeast Nebraska. His books of poetry are Groundbound, I recommend you read Groundbound, a novel in verse, and Shoot from the Hip. He also writes a column for the Wayne Stater called High on the Plains. No comment. He is currently working on his next book of poetry titled No More Passing Notes in Death Class. So our first reader is Chad Christensen.
Hello. Thank you, Greg, Kat, and all the Backwaters posse, and the UNO magical place. This is great. I'm going to read some poetry. I was trying to print stuff out, but my 2-year-old has sabotaged my printer, and so I'm kind of going through all sorts of stuff here. And so, how's everybody doing? Is this going to be one of those sad readings where everybody just kind of quietly sits back there and thinks, why my poetry would be way fucking better up here? You're all thinking it. Alright. Okay, I got 7:30. I'm going to read just some of my newer stuff. It's short. I don't expect you to clap. I don't think we clap down here in Omaha. We clap up in the hills. We don't get much excitement up there. So anybody gets up and says something, we're like, oh shit, all right. But that's okay. You don't have to clap. I'll just sit up here and die inside. All right. All right. Yeah, this is El Dorado Blues. Again, these are fairly short. Actually, too short, probably, but I'm going to resurrect Richard Bronigan here, so we'll see. El Dorado Blues. At the gas station, I look at her behind the bulletproof glass as she rings up my Budweiser Tallboy. She resembles a burned-out version of Jane Fonda. She tries to smile. My card has been declined. We both look at the card. Neither of us are sure what we're doing anymore. Too kind.
Yes.
Yes, you are. It's really too kind. Thanks, Rex. This one's called Genetics. My grandma likes this one. It's happy hour. And the bar is loud. There's a drunk who looks like my great uncle. He is my great uncle. He's staring at the bartender who doesn't look older than 17. I'm staring at her too. That's it. That's the rest. I wanted to print this one off, but I couldn't, so I'm going to read it off my phone like all these young kids do. I'm always like, don't be doing that, you know, but I'm going to, so forgive me. This is a newer one I just want to try. Let's see, it's called Ted's Package Liquor Store in Mormon Trail Motel. There's a wonderful sadness in your parking lot tonight, Ted. The prostitute leaning on the rail with her phone out, her fingers working diligently, and the obvious drug deal by the 2 skinny men down below her next to the rusted-out Chevrolet. It's nice to know certain things will never change. And I wonder about you, Ted, about your life, and the many people you've seen from that window. I'm trying to imagine being you, Ted, 80-some years old, an immigrant from Romania, tough but smart enough to make it. I'm in your shoes, looking out your window, Ted. I'm trying to be you, watching as the two skinny men take off down 30th Street. We don't care, do we, Ted? I can even see myself from that window tonight, slumped down over the wheel in the car across the street. What am I doing over there, Ted? Where is he going? Thank you. This one's called Patterns. This was a fun adventure to the fabric store with my wife. She probably doesn't remember it, but it's called Patterns. Walking into Hancock Fabrics, I pretend to be a housewife drunk on expensive Chardonnay, spending my husband's money recklessly. I then pretend I'm a little old woman who's poor, yet pretty good at sewing. I make quilts for my grandchildren. At the back of the store, I pick up a wood carving of a frog fishing next to a sign that reads, "No worries." I look at it, then put it down. There are 10 other frogs exactly like it on the shelf. In the car, I refuse to look out the window. Fuck you, Brian. This one's a short one. It's called Friends. They're all short. Friends. This is a terrible poem, but I think we need this poem right now, just for you. Okay? Actually, it's terrible. I didn't mean that. Actually, it's not very. It's for everyone. It always funny because I don't want to feel bad. It's not right. Friends. You know you're sad and lonely when your best friends are a washer and dryer who you only see once a week. See why I was trying to stop that? I didn't want to make that like a big... Let's move on. This one's for my brother. It's called Red-Headed Woodpeckers. Kat, tell me if I go over wherever you are out there. There you are. Red-Headed Woodpeckers. Jimmy is obsessed with red-headed woodpeckers. Look, he says, there's one now. I stayed up too late watching all the stupid, was it Jack Handy poems on SNL? Like, it fucking ruined me. I knew there was a reason. Alright, this is another one. It's called Things. I'm learning to be a resident here in the Ponca Hills. I'm learning to enjoy mowing the lawn and do those types of things. This is called Things. Outside, my neighbor is picking up sticks in her front yard. She's gonna mow for the 3rd time this week. It's 11 a.m. and I'm masturbating for the 4th time today. Strange how things can get out of control. This one's called Map. These are short. I'm gonna read a little bit of longer stuff here at the end. Trail out. Map. There's a place north of town that will only reveal itself after you drank 6 beers, and even then, you might not find it. You don't know how true that really is. There's this town called Shoals, and seriously, you can't find it unless you drink some beers, because it's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there's just dirt roads to it, and it's very hard to find. It's difficult. This one's called Clarity. Halfway back on the bed, sipping a whiskey, Today, everything is clear. Somewhere, a silver rocket flies, killing 8. Somewhere, 2 people are fucking on a 78 Oldsmobile. It's alright, stop. Okay. This one's from my mother, which sounds terrible, but she's not here, so I'll pick on her. I love my mother. It's called Love. It's Christmas, and she's spending my inheritance on crap. I love her, but after she's dead, I will sell it all. You're going to do good after this, Marge. It's going to be great. This is guidance. I was looking up the Sugar House. They must be desperate, but they took this one, so I'm really happy to share this. Again, it's short. It's guidance, which is actually going to lead me on to these other poems of good. Guidance. My father taught me words like fuck and cocksucker. He was trying to prepare me for the future. That's it. I'm going to read a few from this, Shoot from the Hip. If you want, you can have several books back there. I have tons of books. Just go back there and just spend your money. I need money to get home. Okay? Actually, I have no books back there. They're on Amazon. Check them out. This is from Shoot from the Hip, which I've actually, it was my first attempt. I was trying to write some father poems, but dead father poems are sort of lame, and so I had to encase them in something else. And so I kind of threw this together. And the Shoot from the Hip, I love and I feel like shooting from the hip, this whole reading. If you can't tell, I'm winging it. And it hasn't changed at all. And so I'm glad I kind of went with this motive here. I'm going to read just a couple chapters from here. I'm calling it poetry. Take it as whatever. So I'm just going to, read 4 chapters and I'll be done. I wanted to go back and read these. The basis of the book is sort of the old man archetype and the kid archetype, where the old man is wise but not really, and the kid, he's sort of dumb but not really. So it's sort of their contrast. It's sort of I don't want to say Faustus, it's a Falstaff kind of thing. So let's wander through. This is chapter 42. Look, kid, ball sacks and pussy lips look similar, as do mouths and assholes, both working pretty much the same. 2 legs, 2 arms, placed perfectly opposite of each other. 2 ovaries, 2 testicles, 2 halves of the brain. 1 solid tube-like trunk for the center, a gift inherited from our grandfathers and grandmothers of the trees and the worms. Yes, we are, he says, a regular cookie-cutter example of this whole goddamn place. He smiles, winks, pulls out his Swiss Army knife and slices a tomato, cuts up an onion, puts it on a hot dog bun with a can of tuna, mustard, and mayo. Simple as that, kid. It's so old, we can't even remember. Okay, there's 3 more. You guys are doing good. Chapter 43. Yes, yes, would have killed a normal man, yes, we know. They were many, but those days are gone. Yes, sir, waking up, hung over with a full load for the West Coast, so you vomit, throw some white crosses down the throat, drive nonstop till you reach LA, unload, then have a drink. Take a few more, be back before the weekend. Yes, those days of going to California, they were many, but now there's cancer, they say, strokes, nerve damage. We hope it's benign, she says, but it's really never. Her eyes, silver green, black pinholes slicing the air. Better shoot them endorphins, stab it in straight. What is happening, they ask. Why is this happening? It's the old motivator, the knock at the door, the clickety-clack on the roof, the good old place taker, where aunts and uncles go, where cats and dogs go. Best you learn about the killer, he says. Don't shoot till you see the fear of God in them, because it moves and swallows, giving birth to a finite word that humiliates us, that dwindles us down to the knees and ground, shaking, crying. But the point, she screams, the reason, the continuous but soon ending situation, but what is happening? The The brain misfires, he explains. It's a sharp point, a match flickering, her legs spread apart, sending the message dot, 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 dash, 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 dot, dot, dot. A capsule, they suppose, a bloody capsule with ancient secrets written in DNA on the insides of crotch fruit. It's scary, she says, leg-licking scary. So shut the fuck up, just shut the fuck up, because the wind is speaking, the water is rising, and I will baptize you with fire, because this is anything but recognizable or understandable. I just be calm as the monster rips off a limb and gnaws it to the bone. Fly out of here. Is that cool? Doing all right? We still with it? How am I doing, Matt? All right. I'm going to end with two more. And this is the end of the book, the story of the many adventures of the kid and the old man. Chapter 61. I think I've got it, the kid says. Well, damn close anyhow. The old man nods and smiles. I knew you would. He runs his hand along his jawline, feeling his whiskers, long now, but not quite a beard. Yes, he says, you've learned quite a lot, but now I must tell you. The old man lets out a deep and tiresome sigh. We are still on the bottom. We've always been. The Egyptians knew, and many before them. But it wasn't until the Egyptians, they saw the power in it. In what? The kid smirks. The old man loosens one more smoke from the pack and calmly places it on his lips. And sparks the lighter. The written word, he replies. Mental slavery, language, communication. The old man breathes in the smoke. They disconnected you from yourself. I'm being vague, I know. It's just so damn subtle. They're vampires, goddamn vampires, and they have been here a very long time. God, it sounds so fucked up shit. I don't know what I'm going. But like I said, we're on the bottom. We live, we work, we die, and then they grind us into the ground. And they never see us, and we will never see them. But they're here. They are building a ladder to the sky, a pyramid, a tower of Babel. They are constructing a heaven for themselves. They are concealing history, withholding secrets, drugs made for longevity. And yes, they will use all the resources, but don't worry, kid. Me and you, we're on the bottom. We'll die long before it happens. The old man smiling. Yes, and there's so much more than this. Some real, some not so real. But it doesn't matter. A good majority of anything we know is crap, complete bullshit. That is why I hesitate to tell you anything at all. But one must at least be aware, he says. Be aware, there are things moving in the water, old things with giant teeth. And as your father, I feel it's my duty to tell you, it's just you and me, kid, floating alone. You guys dream here? I'm assuming most of you dream. I haven't been dreaming lately. When I dream, it's usually when thunderstorms happen, which is odd, which makes me feel freakishly aware of the world I'm in, and if the weather has any sort of effect on it, maybe some of you can share your wise wisdom with me. But I had this strange dream. Ghosts to me are kind of interesting. I don't know if it's the usual type of ghost, but it's like I'm not a big afterlife guy, so my ghosts are sort of in the flesh and real people. And but I did have a dream, and then my father came back, which is weird, and I knew he was dead. But he had managed. We farmed, and I come down the driveway, and he's managed in my dream to have done all this stuff, and since he's been back, he's dead, he comes back, and then all this getting machinery ready, everything was out, the PTO, everything was going, and it was funny, he was back after all this time, and he managed to do all this stuff, way more than I had done anything since he's been gone. It was one of those weird dreams. And it ended up at a table, and I don't know if he asked me what I was doing or something, and something about writing, of course. It's probably around about wanting to write, and it's well, you should probably write that down. And that's what he told me, so now I have that thing. I don't write nearly enough, but you should write it down. But this is the last chapter here, which is I wrote this before I had this dream. Well, kid, we had a good run. I taught you everything I know, but now it's back to the drawing board, back to the dirty shovel for one more show, one more for good faith, because it's back to the rotting earth for me, kid, back to the piss and shit. Yes, we know. Time to wrangle up them worms and last words and bring about something new. Because all who soar From the bird's eye view, he raises his hands to the ceiling. Shall one day wallow in this fertile slime. I am to mix my being with the earth's sweat. The kid sighs, lights a smoke, the old man looking at him, pointing at him. And I will haunt you, kid. I will haunt you in every form. You will see me in the eyes of all creatures gazing back at you. I will be the tree branch leaning down upon you, giving you shade and fear. I will be the whiskey and animal meat filling your belly. And in every cell of your body, I will make it my home, shifting and pulling your limbs so that when you come to the mirror and gaze hard at your aging flesh, you will see me, the old man, creeping upon your horizon like the end of summer, praying for one more beautiful day, one more farewell to kiss those lips, and by God, one more chance to stretch outward from that warm light, that life-giving life, before the cold dark freeze shovels you under. And with that, the old man smiled, his heart bursting open as his mind floated to bliss.